Hi everyone, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share my channel. That will motivate me to create more such videos. So in last few videos we have been discussing various fuzzers on Linux as well as on Windows. We have seen different fuzzers like EFL, Honk Fuzz or Lip Fuzzer and WinEFL as well. And I thought it will be a good idea for us to move to the next step now, and that is modifying some of the fuzzers which we have used. So today I'm going to talk about WinEFL and how did I modify it to use a uh, new feature or new functionality, that is what we call as a shared memory. And if you have read about WinAFL or if you have been using WinAFL in the uh, 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 your fuzzing needs, then uh, you might have noticed that WinAFL creates a file that is dot current underscore input. That is a default file name where it actually modifies all the input file, it mutates them and it saves that as a current dot input file, and this file will be passed as a input to your harness function. So as you might have noticed that um, writing files on the disk and reading it from the disk is a performance intensive task, particularly when you want to fuzz a program. You basically do a lot of mutation to that file and there are continuously read and write to the disk. So this is actually not good for your disk as well as performance will not be that great. So I was thinking that if there is any way, or if there is any change which I can make to WinAFL so that it can read the input from the memory instead of the file. And I been looking at the WinAFL source code. I also looked at the AFL code and I ended up adding this feature which allows reading or writing file to a shared memory. So what WinAFL will do is that it will take one input file from the queue and it will modify that and it will save it in the uh, shared memory instead of writing to a dot underscore input file. And then in your harness also you need to make some changes. So what changes you need to make is that you need to make sure that in your harness you read the data from the shared memory instead of a file. So in this video, first I'm going to talk about what are the changes which I have made to WinAFL to enable shared memory mode, and then we will see how do we modify our harness program. So I'll be taking a simple harness program which comes with WinAFL, and that is a GDI plus harness, which actually simply opens the file and it simply creates a file from the file name, and that's it. So let's start. So first thing, uh, what files I have changed is that I only change a single file, that is afl -fuzz.c, and this file you can find inside WinAFL folder when you git clone that. I have also committed my changes to WinAFL repository, so you can actually go through this change yourself. You can also go to the pull request on the GitHub and you can see the pull request and all the discussion I had with Ivan, who is the maintainer of WinAFL. And basically there are a lot of issues with the formatting. My editor was not taking it properly and it was all messed up, so I have to do a lot of iteration for that. But in the end I'm very happy that I added this feature and I have contributed something to WinAFL which I've been using since last few years now, and I found a lot of vulnerabilities using that. So it is always good to give back, and even though it is a very small feature, I found it very extremely useful for my needs. And I think if you are also tired of optimizing your harness for various cases, then you can try this mode and I'm sure that you will find it useful. So inside afl.fuzz file, this is the main file. Basically it contains all the fuzzing code. It basically contains code to run your application, your fuzz harness, uh, and mutating all the input files, saving them. So we need to change this file, and first thing which I have done over here is that I have added a command line option, and then I have added one flag. So whenever someone gives a command line option that is dash s, that is small s, uh, WinFL will take it as a user want to run or user want to use shared memory mode. So I have used this boolean variable, and it will set this variable to true. By default it is set to false, and I will just go to that location where I've been setting it to true. So here is the location, and you will notice that this is where all the argument which has been passed to WinFL has been passed. I will notice various argument like I, O, FM, etc. So I have added this small s over here, and if you remember, capital S here is for the slave mode. When you run multiple instances like master and slave, you have to use capital S, but if you want to use shared memory mode, you need to use small s. So you just need to give dash small s, and that will enable shared memory mode. So you will notice that here it is simply parsing that argument, and I am setting it use sample shared memory to true over here. It will simply display one message that using shared memory mode, and after that it actually set up the shared memory. So the logic over here is that at the start we will set one shared memory where WinFL will write all the mutated test cases, and the name of this shared memory will be passed to the harness program, and harness program will use that handle or name, and that will actually read all the mutated input from there. It will create one stream from the data, and it will create one stream, and then it will perform all the operation whichever you want to do in your harness, like creating image or processing that input. So this will simply avoid writing or reading the file, and that will improve your performance. That will actually increase your performance by I think many folds. I was actually getting like 3 to 4 times performance increase in my normal compared to my normal file-based operations over here. So let us see that function where I'm setting up the shared memory. I named it as setup switching, and this is over here. So what this function will do is that basically we generate one random string over here by calling this function, and we will generate one fuzzer ID name, something like this, and then we create one sample SHM string. So this is a simple logic over here, and then we will call a function that is create file mapping. So what this function will do is that it will create one shared memory over here, and we need to give the length. So I will use one sample defined over here, that is max sample size, and I have set it to somewhere around 1 MB or something, and we need to add 4 as well, because this is the size of the shared memory which we have been using, so it is of 4 bytes generally. And then we have given a name over here, and then we are simply calling map view of file function over here. So what it will do is that it will simply provide us one handle to our map object, and we can use this shared memory in our harness program. We can also use this handle inside this WinFL process so that it can read and write data to this shared memory. Generally it will simply write the data, all the mutated data. It doesn't read from this, and yeah, so this is what this function does. This has been simply taken from another function over here, which actually sets a shared memory for virgin bits to trace the program execution of the shared bitmap which you call. So it has been simply taken from this function, and I have simply modified it to suit my needs for shared memory. And once this shared memory has been created, what we need to do is that we need to pass the name of this shared memory to our harness program, where our when this will execute our harness program, our harness program should know that what is the name of the shared memory. So since it is randomly generated over here, as you can see, what we can do is that we can modify the code where it simply calls our input where it simply calls our harness program, and where it simply execute that. So let me go there and show you what simple change I have made. So this is the change I have made over here. You will notice that this is a function which is detect underscore filex. So this is a function which passes all the argument passed to your harness program, and you will notice the familiar .cur underscore input file over here. So here it sets the out file name as .cur input, which is .current input. And in our case, we are simply checking that if it is using shared memory. In that case, we will use our shared memory string, that random name which we generated for this fuzzer. We'll pass it as a out file, and this is where it will write all the mutated data. And this is also being passed as a parameter to our harness function as well. So this is the simple change. And now let's see where does it write all the data. Okay, so there is another function which is write to test case, and this function is responsible for writing all the data to our .current input file in case you are using file-based mode, and in case we are using shared memory mode, then we simply need to check that over here. Like if we are using shared memory, then we will write all the mutated data. You will notice that this function has two arguments, that is memory and the length of memory data. So memory is all the mutated data which we are supposed to write to our file in case we are using file based mode, or this is something we'll be writing in our shared memory. So our harness program will use this mutated data, and it will perform various operation over here. So all the first data will be in mem, and this will be the length of that. So if you notice the code over here, it's simply taking our shared memory handle and name over here, and it will simply take the length over here. It will set the length over here as length of the data, as you can see over here, and it will simply copy the memory data to shared memory over here. So this is a simple logic. You will notice over here it is simply calling a mem copy. We already have shared memory handle over here. It will simply copy all the data over here, and that's it. So if we are not using sample shared memory, in that case it will basically create one file. It will open that file, it will write all the data to the file, it will close the file, and yeah, so this is the only change I need to make to get it work. And there are some minor changes, like calling this function setup shm and a start, and that's it. So this is what it looks like when I have added shared memory support to WinFL. And now let's see what changes we need to make to get our harness working in shared memory mode. So I have opened the harness program, and it contains all the changes which I have added to this program. And you will notice that inside the main function I have added few extra parameter like -m and -f. So -m means we will be using shared memory mode. We will set this variable use shared memory as a true. This is a global variable, and if we have given -f, it means that we are not using shared memory. We will set this to false, and we'll simply use our file mode over here. And then we are checking that if use shared memory flag is set, then we will set up shmem. So there is a function over here. Let's go and see what this function does. So this is the function over here, and you will notice that it takes one shared memory name. It will simply call this API, that is open file mapping, If you remember, in case of AFL first, we are calling create file mapping. So here we will simply call open file mapping, which will open our shared memory. It will then call map view of file over here with parameter like shared memory size, etc. And that's it. So it will simply do a map view of file over here, and later on whenever we want to read some data, we will simply use this handle and we will read the data. And also I have specified max sample size is somewhere around 1 MB, not exactly 1 MB but close to that. And the size of shared memory will be max sample size plus 4. So this 4 bytes will be for the length of the data. So that is why it is 4 plus max sample size. And we have taken one global variable, as I have mentioned. We are using this to check if we are running in shared memory mode or a file mode. Then there is one function which is clear shared memory. So whenever our harness program will exit, it will clear, it will actually close the handle, and it will call this API, that is unmap view of file over here. And this is a simple function actually, no major change. And then inside the fuzzme function, right, I'm simply checking if we are not using shared memory. If we are simply using the plain file based mode, then we'll simply call the Windows API or this function from GDI library, that is a new image, and we'll give file name as the argument. So it will create a new image object over here. And in case we are using shared memory, then we need to do some operations. So basically we will take one byte array and we will take one integer value which is a size, and we will fill that byte array. We will basically, what we will do is that we will read the data from the shared memory, we will copy that to our byte array, and then we'll pass this byte array as a argument to a function which calls which converted to a stream. So we'll basically use stream going forward if we are using shared memory. So this is the change we need to do when we are using shared memory, and I will be quickly walking you through that. So you will notice that first we are getting the sample size. So this is the shared memory handle. We are getting first 4 byte over here. That will give us a size, whatever size, whatever AL first.c has written over there, it will get the size over there. And from that we will basically allocate the memory. We will basically create one byte array over here. We'll allocate some memory, and then we will call memcopy function to read all the data from shared memory to our byte array. And then going forward in our harness program, we'll simply use this byte array, which is this sample bytes over here. You can name it anything which you like. And then you will notice that we are creating one stream over here. So for that we have called a function that is as such create mem stream, and then to create the image we will call this function that is GDI plus image from stream, and then we will give the stream over here. So if you remember or if you see above, in case of file based approach, it was very simple. We simply need to call a new image and we need to give file name, image file name over here, and that will create an image object. But in case of shared memory, since AFL fuzz is writing all the data to shared memory, we need to take those bytes from the shared memory. We need a local variable which saves all these bytes, and we need to convert that to stream, and then we will call this function that is create image from stream over here. So this will basically create an image object over here. And this is where you can find a lot of vulnerabilities. So basically when AFL mutates the data, either it writes in the file or in shared memory, and when Windows call this function new image, when Windows try to create a new image, if the image is not in proper format, if there is some vulnerability, it will crash over here. So it can crash in case of file over here, or in case of shared memory, if you fuzz it, you will get crash over here. And I also added one I think I have added one more feature. Okay, I'm just calling image get thumbnail image function. I'm just calling this function or method over here, and this will basically generate one thumbnail for that image. And there are some side checks over here, and in the end I'm simply deleting the image and thumbnail object over here. So this is what you need to do if you want to fuzz your program in shared memory mode. And I found it to be extremely useful. It's very fast. Let me run it, and probably show you what speed you get, but since I am capturing the video, I'm not very confident that I will get a good speed, but let me try. So this is the AFL first command which we need to use, and you will notice that I have added dash s over here, which means that we will be using shared memory mode over here, I dash I, and our input file input folder over here, dash o output folder, dash t, and this is the timeout. You can actually specify it based on your need, dash d. This is the path of Dynamo Rio binary. I am using 32-bit binary over here, dash dash, and the coverage option. So that is coverage module will be GTI plus.dll, GTI 32 full.dll, and target module will be the name of the executable which we are fuzzing, harness program. So this is GTI plus underscore hardik.exe, and target offset. So this is the offset, and that is 10E0 plus iteration. So how many times WinAFL should repeat this execution, this function, and then before starting a new process. Call convention is this call over here. This can be a STD call or this call. It can depend on what how you have developed your harness program. It is 64-bit, it is 32-bit, and number of arguments is 1 actually. So let me change it to 1. Coverage type we will use each dash dash your executable file name dash m. You will notice over here, which means that our harness program will use a shared memory. So this m and this s, it should be used together. If you don't use s and if you use m here, or if you don't use m here and if you use s here, you will not be able to fuzz program. Alternatively, you can change this m option to s in your harness code. That will be better, and add it. So let's run that and see what do we get. Hopefully it should work. Okay, so you will notice that there is some issue with the GUI because I have changed the terminal colors over here, but you will see that it is discovering new paths over here, and the current execution speed we are getting is somewhere around 200 execution per second. It will increase. I generally get somewhere around 1000 or more executions per second, but since I am running multiple tasks on my system, the speed is very slow, and so yeah, it is working. You will notice that the path, it has discovered new paths, and right now it is processing input 1, and yeah, so speed will increase. So this is how you modify WinAFL, and you use shared memory mode. And if you want, please go and download WinAFL now, and you can use that. You need to modify your harness. I have already given one demo over here, and let me cancel my WinAFL here. Okay, so I have cancelled that. So I hope that you have liked this video and you have learned something new from this. I will suggest you to go through the code and try to understand how does WinAFL works, how does it mutates the file, what are the different mutation strategies it uses, and that will give you a very good idea of how does a fuzzer works. Also, if you take any fuzzer like WinAFL, AFL, Hong fuzz or Lip fuzzer or any other fuzzer, you will find that the mutation strategy are almost similar with some slight changes, not major change. So going through the code is always recommended, and if you have any question, feel free to ask. I hope that you have liked this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. That will motivate me to create more such videos. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Please post it on YouTube as a comment, or reach me out on Twitter. And till the next video, stay safe, take care of yourself, goodbye, and enjoy. Thank you.